housing or the public housing program. Whereas the total renovation cost of 31 apartments is estimated at $4,170,567.49. This per square cost per foot is $188 roughly, and it only provides 5 marketable features. Whereas the cost of 60 new mid-rise apartments is estimated at $9 million with an average square foot cost of $133, will provide 16 market features. Furthermore, it has been given information, it's estimated that in South St. Petersburg, senior housing is lacking some 2,500 to 3,000 units. Providing these 60 new apartments would address about 10% of the city needs for affordable housing in the senior community. Therefore, I recommend, I must add, without providing the 60 additional new units, we will not be able to afford the renovation of the 206 units. As the cost analysis has shown, it does not generate enough income to be able to service the debt service that would be needed, about $57,000 a rehab per the 60 units. Without building 60 units, which will increase the current capacity by 29 units, we will not be able to service the debt service on it. So I'm recommending that this board, with the understanding of the cost that it would take to renovate the 31 units, 9 buildings, and continue to receive public housing rent, which are at a much lower rate. Whereas if we put the 60 apartments in, we will receive what is called a project-based voucher rent, which is double the cost of the rent. As the illustration shown earlier, it will not affect the families any more than what they're paying now. Currently, families are paying 30% of their adjusted income. They will continue to pay 30% of adjusted income. But because we are now moving to convert to the RAD program, we're allowed to put a voucher rent on the apartment, which generate more money that will allow us to go out and service the debt that we have created. Lastly, I would like to add that without building the new 60 units, we will lose $14 million, which are being bought into as equity, which is tax credits, that is being converted to $14 million. That would go away. Therefore, it would also reduce our ability to rehab the 206 units that are now in Jordan Park and renovate the needs of the apartment at some $4,000 a unit. So therefore, I'm asking that this board give me authorization to build and construct 60 new mid-rise apartments, renovate 206 units of existing apartment, and to proceed with the conversion of Jordan Park to a RAD program. And to address this issue, we're planning to be able to close by the end of this fiscal year, 2018. So I ask for consideration and support of this motion, resolution number 2498, because of the feasibility of it and what it will do to increase the 206 units getting current renovation. In addition to every 20 years, 15 years, or 20 years, apartment management typically go through a refurbishment of their apartments. These apartments that are at Jordan Park was renovated under Hope 6 in 2001, which now make them approaching closely to 20 years of existence. They're in great need of repair. Some of the repair are exterior. Many of the repairs are interior. We need to do work with refurbishing the bathroom, the flooring, the kitchen, and other amenities that are in the apartments. So from a cost estimate, we will not be able to support the renovation of 206 units. That's the 60 new units is a driving factor that creates the cash flow, and it addresses the need for senior housing in South St. Petersburg that has been estimated to be some 25 to 3,000 units. So for that reason, we are greatly asking for support, and we will move this motion through.
Before we entertain the motion, we wanted to amend 2498 to include the historic preservation committee that's going to research and bring back to this board.
I'll speak to that.
Okay.
In addition to the motion, in addition to the resolution 2498, we will add to this motion a facility to archive the history of Jordan Park and the remembrance and the vernacular established under the 2001 Hope 6 renovation, and we would add that in, and the board would create a committee, the board would be a committee and would create a committee formation to include the general public on what sort of remembrance or memorabilia that would be created to be a part of the Jordan Park development and saving historic value of the Jordan Park Historic Village.
Michelle, can you kind of talk about the historic preservation and what were some of the options that you're planning to use?
We looked at a number of options. We looked at a number of options with regard to historic preservation, and have solicited information from the community as a result of that, as well as from the board. And the recommendation was to consider adding an end cap to the facility that is located immediately between the building that houses the museum and Jordan Park Apartments. It would be on the 9th Avenue side. That end cap would be approximately 25 and a half feet wide. It would be 8 to 10 feet deep. That would be a place that would allow for the archival of memorabilia, statuaries, plaques, whatever, insignificant of the history of Jordan Park. That would allow us to continue forward with the site plan that is currently developed. It would allow us to adjust it as to accommodate this particular facility. That facility, again, would be reviewed and outfitted pursuant to recommendations from the committee of the board. That look, which is the 2001 look, is what you see now. The original apartments as constructed in 1939 were basically a cinder block looking World War II type of facility in every public housing authority that was established at that time period. And it had, I think, the 7 or 8 pane type windows that were the butterfly opening. Most of the input that we've gotten thus far indicates that people are really wanting to preserve the bungalow style.
She's trying to address that.
Yeah, okay. Y'all too. In the bungalow style that was brought into Jordan Park by the 2001 Hope 6 grant. And that's the bungalow style with the columns on the side. It has the gabled roof on it, and that would be the front of that particular location. And again, about 25 and a half feet wide and about 8 to 10 feet deep. And it would have viewership from the street recognition on 9th Avenue side particularly. And from there, the committee would look at the balance of the build out in terms of making recommendations for that, as well as the outfitting of a permanent exhibit that would be housed there on the Jordan Park properties.
Any discussion on this before we vote on 2490?
Yes. I would like to include in the motion the description that you just made, Ms. Mayor. To include that model or replica of the senior village as it is now, to include that in the motion so that we know for sure that there will be a building there to extend the legacy of Jordan Park Jordan. I want to elaborate. First of all, there has been a lot of discussion around personalities on this board and personalities in the community. And I recently went away to do some prayer and meditation about this situation because of its delicate nature. And in the process, I had the opportunity of viewing the last informational workshop in its entirety, where facts were given about the renovation of the 9 units, the 9 buildings, the cost factor over against building new units. There's a saying, don't criticize the Indian until you've walked a mile in his moccasins. And as I was able to remove myself from the St. Petersburg area and also talk with some other individuals, I realized that our CEO